Good morning, evening, night, whenever. I'm Kim Horcher, and in today's Daily Fix, Saints Row developer Volition shrugs off some fan backlash, George R.R. Martin isn't actually writing Elden Ring, and the Ninja Turtles' April O'Neil was added as a playable character to 2 games in 48 hours, and it's not even April, the month. This is your Daily Fix. Gamescom's opening night live debuted a bunch of new games, one of which was a reboot of Saints Row. The series shined as a wacky, satirical take on Grand Theft Auto and has spawned 4 main titles and a well-received remaster of the 3rd game, so it's safe to say that Saints Row has more than a few die-hard fans. But some of them don't seem too pleased with the cinematic trailer of this reboot. Disgruntled fans took to Twitter to criticize the game, and the Saints Row team responded. Sir Switchy said, quote, "Why make a reboot when the game is nothing like Saints Row? It makes no sense, just call it something else." The official Saints Row Twitter account replied with, quote, "Doing a reboot like no one has ever done a reboot before. Pretty Saints Row if you ask us." And Twitter user Gavinator6429 said he had defended the game when others called it a GTA clone, but quote, "I feel like I wasted my time defending you guys." To which the Saints Row account replied, "We are not backing down on this game. We get it, it's new, and it's a shock reaction to a reboot like no other." There were several reactions calling the game Fortnite and full of hipsters, to which I say, what do you think the word hipster even means? Because I see all kinds of disparate things called that. At this point it just means young people thing I don't like calling all teenagers millennials. They're not, but I digress. I personally don't think this looks like Fortnite either, but saying it doesn't look like Saints Row is actually accurate. It doesn't. Game franchises do evolve over time and trends change, but this gave me a Badlands and Cyberpunk 2077 vibe more so than Saints Row or even GTA, which it kind of should be a parody of. If GTA goes off the rails, Saints Row has got to be flying off the rails in that one truck from that Saints Row 2 mission where you have to spray poop everywhere. I agree, it doesn't look right, but I think I'll wait until there's something playable to make a final judgment. So, what do you think of the new Saints Row trailer? Let us know in the comments and try to keep it civil. In completely unrelated gaming news, we got a few updates on the mysterious, long-awaited Elden Ring. IGN's own Mitchell Saltzman got to see 15 minutes of actual gameplay, and while everyone's fawning over the combat and the spells and the visuals, one little detail related to the lore stood out. Game director Hidetaka Miyazaki is writing the in-game text. A lot of hullabaloo was made about the involvement of Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin, who is helping to craft the game's world and backstory, but according to GRRM himself, his contributions to Elden Ring ended, quote, years ago. Miyazaki praised Martin, saying, quote, "He brought things to the table that we couldn't have done by ourselves in terms of that rich storytelling and that sense of character and drama." But if you're a fan of From Software's previous titles, namely Dark Souls, you'll know that their game's narratives aren't told linearly. Everything is given to the player in pieces, and it's up to you to figure out what the hell is going on. And on the surface, that might run counter to how GRRM writes his stories. A Song of Ice and Fire is sprawling, filled with intricate relationships and political dynamics, but it's also intimate and clear. He makes sure his readers spend time with his characters and understand the stakes and the state of play. So it looks like we're getting the best of both worlds here. A fantasy world from one of the genre's best writers, but with arcane details filled in with that trademark Miyazaki mystery. And big bonus, it'll probably get finished at some point. Sorry, George. And finally, if your name is April O'Neil and you like hanging out with 4 teenagers who happen to be mutant turtles, also ninjas, you're probably having a great week. Announced during Gamescom, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a throwback to the old 1980s era of the animated Turtles series and inspired by side-scrolling beat-em-ups like Turtles in Time from the 90s. Aside from playing as any of the 4 turtles, you can also play as April ONeil, the yellow jumpsuit-clad reporter and friend of the heroic heroes on a half-shell, might I add, turtle power. And that's not the only game April's joining. She's also playable in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, the Smash Brothers style fighting game featuring a whole smorgasbord of Nicktoons characters like Powdered Toast Man, Reptar, Danny Phantom, Helga from Hey Arnold, and of course, the Ninja Turtles. ONeil has a similar moveset in both games. She can whack opponents with a TV camera and boom pole, and even has a finishing move in Shredder's Revenge where she literally drops the mic on enemies. Looks like your girl is finally getting her dues. Casey Jones was not available for comment. Shredder's Revenge is out next year, but Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is out this fall. It rhymes. And that was your daily fix for Friday, August 27th. Thanks for joining me this week. It has been an absolute pleasure. I do mean that. Now that you're all caught up on the news, check out the latest episode of Boss Hobbies where we talk to Toki Monsta about remixing the music of Ghost of Tsushima. Download the IGN app on all your devices, and for all things, everything else, IGN.com.